Hello, madam. My name is Abel Mukwa. I'll be taking you through this interview. You're welcome, and thanks so much for creating time for this conversation. Who is Madam Rael Otundo?
Rael Otundo, I come from Nyaribari constituency.
Okay.
Nyaribari Chache. I am a land economist by profession.
All right.
I do evaluation. I am also a politician.
Okay.
I vied for the seat of MP by election 2013.
2013.
I vied again 2017 for the seat of MP.
Okay.
I also vied for the seat of Speaker the same year, 2017.
Okay.
2022, I was in the race for gubernatorial seats.
Okay.
Unfortunately, towards the end, after rehearsal, my running mate was bought.
Okay.
So I was left stranded.
All right.
But somehow I was assisted to stand for the seat of women rep.
All right.
And I did. I am still a politician.
Okay.
I am also in the civil society field.
All right.
Because we have a civil society.
Okay.
By the name Gusi Governance Watch.
All right.
I am a secretary in that society.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yes.
That's a good story about you.
Yes.
Now, when did you first notice that you can be a leader and you ventured into politics?
When I was employed, I worked many times in Kisii County, Nairobi, and then Kisii County.
All right.
When I was transferred to Kericho, that is when I realized, because while I was in Kisii, I thought this thing was for men, because we were meant to believe that this thing of elections, political seats, were for men.
Okay.
So when I went to Kericho, I realized there were many women who were getting elected. And these people, and people used to talk about politics openly, even in the offices. Okay. And that is when I realized there was something wrong in Kisii. So I said, no, I also take up this mantle and stand, because I was saying, why don't women from Kisii stand? Okay. Then I said, why not me? Which women are these that we are looking for, if not myself?
Sure.
And that is the time I decided to come, to stand and look for it, because I felt the qualifications, and I also liked politics, because I developed interest while I was in Kericho.
Now, I want to take you back slightly in your history and talk about the Member of Parliament seat. In Kisii, it is known to be very tough. How was it as a woman to get into that race?
The seat for MP, so I thought the best seat to look for, that was 2013, was the seat of MP.
Okay.
But you see, I had to start earlier, while I was still working, before I had even resigned.
All right.
So I was working in Kericho then, and the seat that I was interested in was for MP. I was not interested in for the seat of women rep, because then there was no portfolio for women rep. I didn't see what I was going to do for the people, because for me, I believe being a leader is that you add value. There's something special that you are going to do for the people that will change the lives of the people. So I didn't see that. So that's why I was not interested in the seat of women rep. But however, when I stood to look for this seat in the general election, I wanted to be in the general election, my brother also stood.
Your biological brother?
Yes. So both of us could not go for the same seat. So I left for him to go, and me, I kept quiet and waited for another time. Unfortunately, my brother did not complete the race. He left on the way. So that is the time when a by-election came. That is the time I said, let me go there and try. And when I tried, I was not the last. So when I was not the last, so I realized that this phrase people say, that in Kisii you can't be given elections, is only for men, is a lie, because I defeated many men, including the current MP. The current MP of Nyaribari Chache today. I defeated him during that time. He was behind. So I realized that there were men behind me, and so this business that women cannot be given seats, no, it's a matter of changing the people, and everything, politics is dynamic, and that is how I got into that. And even now, I believe that women should look for all seats. There are no seats that are special for women. In other regions, women have asked for all these other seats, and they have become except the seat of presidency. So I don't see why it should not be done in Kisii. And the only way people realize that you need these seats is when you stand and look for them. You must develop interest, look for these seats, convince the people, talk to the people for them to change. Of course, change is resisted, but over time, it comes.
Now, you vied for MP, you vied for gubernatorial seat, you've gone for a women rep seat. Now, let me talk about the gubernatorial seat. What happened? What was the story behind it?
The gubernatorial seat, the problem, when I was vying for I was in a big party.
Okay, which one?
And I was in the party of UDA. We are the ones who started that party. So I was there from Kisii region. And ilipofika wakati wa kuchipanga, that is where there was a problem. During that time, in that party, they wanted somebody who had enough resources, more resources than what I had, to be the flag bearer. That is among those others who were to be in the team of that gubernatorial seat. So at that level, that is when they opted to go for our cabinet secretary now, today, Honorable Machogu.
Okay.
That is when they went for him to the party. So I decided the best thing I could do, I couldn't fight, and I was told to step down. I couldn't step down because I knew if I stepped down, that would be the end of my political career. So what I did, I had to look for another smaller party, and went there to vie from that smaller party. And that is when I had now another bigger problem, because the same MP feared for the competition, because he came from Nyaribari and I also came from Nyaribari. And so what did he do? He looked for a simple way, buy the running mate. And since he had the resources, he had the power, he did it. So he bought the running mate. So from there, I didn't have any other way other than to salvage myself by looking for a way of looking for a seat. So I was assisted to look for the seat of women rep. I knew I would not go anywhere. And I knew if the women put a dispute, I couldn't go through. But I understand many women, they don't put disputes. They only complain kwa mudomo. They don't do anything written. And that is why I managed to reach
the ballot.
To the ballot. But what I was doing on the ground, politics is not church. So I had to have a platform where I had to fight back, number one, and number two, to fight for political relevance. I was not looking for a seat because I knew even if I won that seat, they will go to court and I'll be removed because of timelines.
Sure.
Yes, but I am happy because I am now politically relevant. I can go back, sit for the same seat that I wanted to look for.
Now, you said you were told to step down. Who did exactly tell you that, hey, madam, step down and let Machogu run for the seat, for the gubernatorial seat?
That was in our party. That was in our party. You stepped down. It was the party.
Oh,
the party told me to step down and leave it for Machogu, and I said no. If I did that, it couldn't work for me.
So, did you have a very powerful running mate that prompted Machogu could not go and look for another one and came for your running mate, or there's something else that they considered?
He didn't come for my running mate to go and be his running mate. He came to buy him out so that he does not support me. You know, without a running mate, you cannot vie for gubernatorial seats. His aim was to kick me out of politics completely. Because next time I come to politics, people will say, this lady was bought.
Wasn't this a dispute that you could have channeled to your party leadership?
But I'd already left the party now where Machogu was. And I'd gone to another smaller party. So there's nothing I could do. I had to look for a better way, and the best I could do is what I did.
Now, currently, are you in touch with the Cabinet Secretary for Education, who was the running mate, who was the gubernatorial candidate at that time?
He's our cabinet secretary. So you must be in touch with the people who are currently in position, because the government in power, because even when I went to the smaller party, I was still supporting the president, who is His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto. So for that reason, we are still in that government. I am still there. In fact, immediately after the elections, I went back to the party of UDA.
So right now you are a UDA member? Okay, that's great, madam. Now, as a woman now, generally in the entire politics terrain, What is this major challenge you faced that you feel a woman who wants to get into leadership should take into account?
Okay, there are many challenges.
Okay.
But if I can talk about, okay, there are many challenges like finance, like the cultural issues, like the stereotypes. There are all those kind of challenges. But if I can become specific to the Kisii region, because in Kisii region, we've never even elected one woman, one MP, even one MP for a single constituency. We never, since independence. That is the problem. And currently, we have only one MCA who is elected the whole of Gusii region, Kisii and Nyamira counties.
Combined.
We have only one woman MCA who is elected. And she's elected from Bomachoge, where we had a previous one who had been elected from there, and another previous one who had also been elected from the same place. From the same place.
Oh, okay.
So that means we have a big problem that we must be able to sort out as a people.
Now, where do you see women in 2027? Will they claim some seats in Kisii, in Gusii, entire Gusii region?
What I can say is, when you want to reach somewhere, you must start by a step.
Sure.
And what we've done is that we've made steps.
Okay.
The major problem, like in Gusii region, that I forgot to say now, I must say it, is that the elected members of parliament, or rather the elected members, are actually the problem to the women rising into leadership. How are they? They are because they are the ones who control most of these parties. And when they are in these parties, they don't want the business of women. For women, they tell them, you go to be nominated, or you step down and go for the seat of women rep. So when we are told to go for those two seats, so we are condemned to look for only one seat, which is called women rep. So that is why many women are forced to go to the smaller parties or less popular parties in their regions.
Okay.
That is where the problem is, because as these other people start from 15% upwards, our women, you start from zero. That is where the problem is. If you look in the whole of this country, Kenya, you realize many women who've been elected, they come either from major parties or from the most popular parties. Save Mwangaza and a few who were elected on an independent ticket. In fact, it was a shock to the whole nation. I think, so that is really a major issue. Before you come to the issues of finance and other issues, that is really a major issue. And this business of elections needs godfathers, godmother, political godfather or a political godmother to guide you. So many political godmothers and godfathers don't come by when you are a woman, especially from the regions where we come from, like Kisii. They want to tell you, and in your IC, a women rep. Of course, which women rep is the hardest seat according to me. It is not easy to get that women rep seat. So that is why we have all these problems, and that is where we are in the position where we are. But the thing is, what is the way going forward? The way going forward, I want to tell you, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Good news.
The good news, there was the Political Parties Amendment Bill 2022.
Yes.
And that Political Parties Amendment Bill is still existing.
Okay.
And what it said is that for nomination of candidates, each party must observe 2/3 gender rule.
All right.
Which means women will get positions for all seats in these major parties or most popular parties in their regions.
Okay.
Secondly, our president is so much interest about the issue of gender. He wants the women to get their positions, at least to have their 30 or 35%. And that is why he wrote to the assembly to see whether the National Assembly or to Parliament to see whether they can be able to deal with these issues of gender, among others. Even when we had this NADICO report, they have talked about the issues of gender. There was the other government, the other parliament that was there, which the last parliament was declared unconstitutional by the then Chief Justice and Supreme Court Maraga. but it still continues. So they have that they are struggling with. And we believe that in 2027, things will be different.
Okay.
Our president, when they had that caucus with the women governors, they talked about they need women. They even indicated that even a deputy president needs to be a woman, even the deputy governors need to be women. That means there's political goodwill. And if there's political goodwill from the man holding the highest office in the land, then that means the others will follow suit. And so we believe when it comes to 2027, there will be change of wind. Even our people naturally are prepared. Secondly, there is this issue of performance. The women who have been MPs in the regions where they have come from, wanarudishwa mara mingi. They are returned or re-elected many times, which means they are good performers. If you look at the women who've been elected as governors, they are doing very well. And even when you look at the ranking, many of these women they are 7, and you find they are top 14. And even the best performer was a woman, Honorable Her Excellence Gladys Wanga from Homa Bay. That is a story, and this information is all with the people, and people have realized women are very good managers, especially in counties. They are very smart in managing county resources. And even the issues of corruption are less in their regions. And for that reason, there's light at the end of the tunnel, where we need more than 16 governors come 2027, and where we need many MPs. So this time, we believe 2027, there's light at the end of the tunnel. What we are asking for, especially women from regions like Kisii, let not all women go for the seat of women rep. Let women stand up and not crowd in that one seat, and instead they distribute themselves and look for all seats, senator, governor, MP, MCA. Let us all be there and look for all these seats.
Thank you, madam. Now, I want to ask you one question on when you wanted to vie for the gubernatorial seat. When you vied for it, let me say you did.
Yes.
What was this major challenge you wanted to fix in Kisii County?
The major challenge that I wanted to fix in Kisii County is about use or management of resources, because the whole thing about being a governor in Kisii County is how you manage the resources, because the resources are there, and these resources are massive. What they need is a manager, someone who can be able to manage them well. And I can tell you, generally, even before you go to which woman, a woman will always do best than a man when it comes to management of resources. Give a man 1,000 shillings and give a woman 1,000 shillings. This money will perform differently. The women will do much better with the money than the man. Then that is what I wanted to fix, and do things differently, manage the resources and work as a team. Because women, they love working as a team, and the management, because the whole thing is management. If you manage the resources very well, and then in that case, and then you do equitable distribution. There is also distribution, because sometimes there is bias in distribution depending on where the votes came from. So even fair and equitable distribution, that is the fair thing that I was going to do and improve the performance of Kisii County with respect to use of resources and reduce corruption, which has been a monster in this county.
Do you think that one is currently being managed well by the current governor, Simbarati?
I don't think the county governor is doing very well in terms management. The reason why I'm saying he's not doing well, because he started from a wrong footing. Where he came in, before he could understand even what job was supposed to be done, he started ridiculing people in terms of how they are doing their business, on the qualifications and all those things. So he created fear among the workers. That was a very bad start. You don't start like that as a leader. And then number two, the way his way of doing business is CECs and the chief officers and the other senior officers is like they are not helping him very well. Because if they were helping him very well, there is no way resources should go back to the government. We've had the first financial year for him in office, pesa ilirudishwa more than 3 billion went back to the exchequer. Why did it go back? Because the people working were not very good on how to utilize resources. Hakumsaidia ku utilize resources. Maybe even him, maybe he did not give them that goodwill for them to do that job. So there was that problem. And then when you look at the way work has been done, number one, there is a lot of disunity because you must work as a team, as a manager.
Within the county,
within the county, there is a lot of disunity. And then there is a lot of intimidation, and there is a lot of what we call, it's like a one-man show. When it's one-man show, that is where things fail. That is where you need to start checking his business from. Because when you are a one-man show, even those who work below you, they leave for you the job to do.
Sure.
So at the end of the day, you fail. So he's not doing very well. He needs to pull up his socks and do much more, because we need water in various regions. We need madawa kwa hospitali. We need our roads to be done. Okay. We need bursary well distributed. Of course, he tried the other day to distribute the bursary, and they should still do better. And we need our markets to be built. We need many things, so that our money to be well utilized, and our money not to go back to the exchequer.
Now, there's an issue of congestion within Kisii town, where we have our streets being occupied by business people, and the town is really congested. What could you have offered as a solution of organizing the town itself?
When you want to organize the town, what I could have done if I were governor,
okay,
I could have organized the town by ensuring that we have order.
Okay.
Now, order, you can only have order if you do good planning. You work with those who are in that docket of lands and planning, work with these people, and ensure that you have planned well, so such that you have people, you create more parking. Of course, the town was worse before Ongwai. It became fair because he tried to create some parking and other things. So you come in, create more parking, and then you create more space for where people are supposed to do business. There are some pieces of land or spaces that are not being utilized currently that should be utilized. So you make sure that you have these people there, and then at the same time you do beautification, where we have on these streets where there are these old trees, you remove them, you put young ornamental trees, you plant grass where it's supposed to be there, you put the people to do business in the right places. Okay. And if you do that, you can do very well. Like I can give one credit to the current governor, because he really did well by removing garbage that was really a menace, not from Nyambera. From Nyambera.
Yes,
yes. Garbage which was really a menace.
Okay.
It's only that we are not very sure on how it is being managed. We are yet to go into that.
Okay.
But that one, that was a good job he did. But when he told us he was going to do something there for the people, he was going to do some facility for leisure for people. A park. Nothing has been done. And that is what I could have done. And you know me, being a valuer, I could have added value. You add value in every sector. And the face of the town, the way when somebody comes into the town, the way you arrange the town is what tells anybody, even a newcomer who is coming to town, on the kind of leadership that we have.
Now, apart from the garbage, is there anything good you've seen the governor has done within these 2 years has been in power?
Apart from
the garbage at Nyambera that you moved from there.
Okay, I cannot. Okay, like for example, the governor is trying to do, but what he's doing is more of talking, it's more of campaigning than action.
Okay.
That is what he has done. So I cannot say that he's not doing anything, because he's paying salaries, he's doing many other things. He's doing, of course. Okay. He brought drugs. Like you see, he's not doing to the optimum. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes. As expected.
Yes.
He should do better than what he's doing at the current.
Okay.
Because generally, when money is returned to the exchequer, when you see things the way they are, things, machines being stolen from hospitals, and we don't know who is stealing them. When you see drugs not being in hospitals, when you see roads in the states where they are, when you have not seen any water, that apart from this water that came from Kikati, that is water that had been planned by the national government, we have not seen any boreholes that he has done, or any much water that he has supplied to any other regions. It's not about bursary only, because what he talks about that he has done so much is about bursary, and what he talked about was bringing drugs, but he only brought once and twice. But you see, we need constant supply. We need things that are sustainable. He has not done work to that satisfaction in a sustainable manner. Like, I don't understand why money should be returned to the exchequer when we have many contractors who are crying that they need to be paid their money. So even if they didn't do the work so well, some of them, as he says, why then return the money? You'd better even give them. Sure. Because so that at least your problem is okay. On the other hand, he should his people, the people who work below him, the CECs and what have you, they should also up their game and assist the governor in the job that he's doing. Because if they relax the way they are relaxing, we are in for a big shock. We will deteriorate as a county called Kisii County.
Now, Governor Arati says he has built 128 classrooms in the city, in that level that the county controls, the CBC, the lower primary, I think the nursery level, let me call it that way. From where you stand as a leader, are those classrooms there?
When the president of the Republic of Kenya came to Kisii,
yes,
our governor stood and said about the many jobs he has done, and one of the things he talked about was about ECD classrooms.
Yes, ECD classrooms.
So, as a civil society, we went around to see that those ECD classrooms were there.
Yes.
We were shocked. The classrooms, he has not yet built them. In fact, it's like he wanted to say he is going to build them, and he forgot, and they say that he has already built them. He hasn't done much. What he has done about ECD classrooms and this work in the polytechnics is about dealing with the people who teach there.
Okay.
That is what he's doing, the human resource. That one is doing something about it. But about building the classrooms and what have you, he hasn't done much. In fact, me, what I know, what he has done is about salary and bringing some drugs here and there, and a lot of talking. But many of and then kuna barabara zenye amelima chache lakini bado zingine hazijawekwa moram, lakini hajalima nyingi. That is what I know that he has done.
Now, there were news going around when we didn't have the deputy governor in Kisii County, where some citizens were captured in radio saying that they want you to be the deputy governor. Were you approached at any point by Arati for such a seat?
There was this issue of wrangles within Kisii County, whereby the deputy governor was to be impeached.
Yes.
And that he was actually impeached.
He was impeached
by the Senate. And when he was impeached, I want to thank the people of Kisii County and even those from Nyamira, because they really supported us, and they said the best person who should take that position is Rael Otundo.
Yes.
They gave my name and supported that name and voted for that name.
Yes.
Before I didn't even know, I even didn't think about it. But you see, that fact alone, I want to thank them. And that means they still have me in mind, and they feel that if they give me something, there's something that I'll do for them.
Okay.
And I think they still have me in mind.
Okay.
What I should state today, I was never approached by the governor.
Okay.
I was never approached by the governor in any way, but the governor picked his own person who he thought was the best. And he comes from Nyaribari.
Okay.
And we said that is okay because it was his choice. This was not a choice of the people. If people were to vote, it is Rael Otundo that they could have chosen.
Yes.
But you see, it was his choice, so we respect his choice. But on the other hand, the seat is not free. This seat, the deputy governor went to court. The seat is still for the deputy governor until the case of the court is determined. So even the one who was chosen could not be there. So even if I was chosen, I could still be floating. So the thing is, the seat is not yet free. But I'm asking the people of Kisii County to consider me coming in 2027, because if they have that goodwill, they should keep it to 2027.
That's great.
Yes.
So if you could have chosen, you could have taken up the role.
If people give you a job, if people give you a job, you don't refuse.
You take it up.
If people give you a job and you refuse, you cannot ask for another job they give you. Watakuambia we gave you that. But what I wanted, I didn't want to go myself to hear that people have said, so niende kuambia governor atinipatie kiti ati watu wamesema. I didn't want to do that.
Yes.
I wanted, if the people gave me the job, the people will take me themselves and give conditions. Because you see, if you go without conditions, you give to the conditions of the owner, at the end of the day, you just work the same way like the way the deputy governor who was there worked. You heard him complaining about the problems he went through. So if I could go the same way that you go lobbying for the job, it could have brought me those kind of problems. So if the people wanted me to have that job, and Arad said yes, and the people took me, I could have taken the job, because you cannot let down the people
who
have stood with you. And what we need is the electorate. We don't pick ourselves as leaders.
Sure.
It is the people who elect us.
The wrangles in Kisii County right now, since last year, it has been since the election of 2022, you have had young leaders, including the governor and some other members of parliament, in wrangles now and then. What do you think is the problem, madam?
What I should say, the elections of 2022, Kisii County were very special.
Okay.
Whereby we elected very many young people. For the 9 seats of MP, 7 are young people, 2 are elderly. For the seats of the county, the woman rep is a young person, the governor is a young person, the deputy governor and the senator are the only elderly people. And when we expected these people are young, because they are digital, they are vibrant, to do very well.
Yes.
We are shocked by what we are seeing. Many of them are giving a very bad example, because people are thinking now, is this the way? But what it has taught us a lesson that next time that we pick leaders, we will have a mix of these leaders. We'll have the elderly, we'll have the women, we'll have the men, we'll have the youth, so that we can have a balanced leadership. So the wrangles these people have had are wrangles that they have created for themselves, because these wrangles are simply, I can call it utoto. That is what I call it. Because why will these people fight? Because kila mtu akona kazi yake. The MPs have their jobs to do. The senator has his job to do. The woman rep has his job to do. If I can say that there have been wrangles, let the people stand up clean, like the senator stood out very clean and said where his problem was. He came out and told the people what it was.
Yes.
These other fightings between Osoro and Arati, according to me, I don't see why they fight. Because the thing is, kila mtu anataka kuonyesha ukubwa, and we are not interested in kuonyesha ukubwa. The chief whip, who is Osoro, let him do his best as a chief whip, and then from there he's promoted from there. Let him leave the governor to be. Let the governor also do his best. We are there to charge and we are there to ask questions. We have also seen MCAs who are taking people to go for a go slow against an MP, and we start wondering, they're not seeing the logs in their own eyes. They are seeing the specks in other people's eyes. So we were saying kila mtu afanye kazi yake. Kama kila mtu angekuwa anafanya kazi yake. What they should do, this fighting, mimi nasema ni utoto. The fighting ndio nasema, what I'm calling utoto is the fighting. yes, you are an MP and you feel the governor is not doing well, or you are a governor and you see the MP is not doing his role well. All you need to do is to pick out the issues and talk about them.
Yes.
It is not the business of fighting. Where does fighting come from? Fighting, physical fighting, is really madness. And we've not had that from before. But the thing is, the governor is known to be a man who understands about fighting. I remember one day I went to a meeting where they were opening the Orange House. That time I was a member of Orange.
Oh, you've been an audio member?
I was an audio member then. And when Rat stood that time, he was in the member of Dagoretti, he said, he's the owner of goons. If he's given time, he can collect even 4,000 from Kawangware. I was there. So I was shocked. So from that time, when he had to come and look for the seat of governor, I wondered, is this the man that is going to look for the seat of governor in Kisii? So he has gotten used to that kind of dealing from Nairobi. So he came feeling like he should have his own goons. So these others have their own goons. So when the goons meet from different camps, they fight, just like what happened in Momachoge yesterday. It was very wrong, because the thing is, the MP who provoked all this, it was okay. There was tension from the beginning, from the arrangements, even before provocation came up. So why will you do that? Because the thing is, why will you carry people to one club for you? Why will you carry people? You have your bodyguards. You are an elected leader. You have your bodyguards. Why are you bringing other people? And they go there, speak sense, and the crowd will clap for you.
Exactly.
So this business of kila mtu aende na watu wake. In fact, if we do that kind of campaign where everybody goes na watu wake, that's what I'm calling new thought. At the end of the day, people will fight, and our people are the ones who lose.
Sure.
So I am asking all the leaders, kila mtu afanye kazi yake, and if you have anything to ask about another person, ask it in a good way, in a sober way. Some of us have been asking questions. We question the MPs, the way they do their jobs. We question the governor, the way he does his job. We question the MCAs, the way many of them are not doing oversight. Yet, they don't fight us. It is because we raise the issues in a manner that does not attract violence.
Now, currently people are rating Kisii County as one of the poorly performing counties. Who do you think is the major person to blame for the development, for the lack of development in Kisii County?
I want to say that I believe in this theory that says that the face or the performance of an institution is by the principal of that institution or the CEO of that institution.
Okay.
So the person who takes the full responsibility of performance of Kisii County is the governor. Okay. So when it's not performing, then the governor is not performing. Starting from this point of returning money to the exchequer. If you are returning money to the exchequer, then that means the functions, that money that could have done it, are not being done.
Sure.
So that is failing. So the governor takes full responsibility. In fact, even the rankings, nobody ranks the CECs, nobody ranks the MCAs, they rank the governor. Yes. So since the ranking is the governor, Arati should know that Kisii County we cannot accept with 47 out of 47. And if we go that way, at the end of the day, we are going to fail. And the problem with our governor, he picks on petty issues. Somebody says this, somebody wants to fight me, somebody brought this. So he concentrates on those things and leaves the major issues that are called the issues of doing development and giving service delivery to the people of Kisii County. I want to advise the governor to ensure that he carries his load along. As he is fighting, those who are fighting him because he has to retaliate, he should at the same time work for the people of Kisii County. For us, 2027, we are going to look at his scorecard on what he has done for us. And that is what is going to return him. These cries of whether he has been, somebody's fighting him, somebody's doing what, those are non-issues. And they will not take him anywhere, and he should take that to the bank.
Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, where can you rate Simbarati?
On a scale of, me, I'm more interested in development more than anything else.
Yes.
So there are things that he's doing. So I can't give him 0. So at least there are things he does.
Yes.
So me, I'll give him 4 out of 10. That is to be fair.
As a civil society member, what are these things you're doing now? At least the public should look up to you to ensure that at least they have gotten something like development, or maybe the county government is aware that there are people who are looking up to us in terms of development. What are these things you are doing at least can help Mwananchi get development?
What we are doing, we are looking the way the way our governance is being done, and we are speaking out, as we are not like we want to fight. Okay, these things are being spoken by those who are by other people, those who are elected, but because they have their own fights, the electorate, they don't take the points. But for us, we are not in the fight. For those who are fighting, let them fight. As we are only interested on the service delivery and development. So we are pointing out, and every time we are the first people to point out about these classrooms. Where are they? We are the first people talking about money. Our money is being returned. It's being as we are speaking, if Arati can borrow a leaf from us, from these things we are talking about, if he can improve on them, it'll be better come 2027.
Okay.
We are not just speaking for the sake of it. We are speaking to enlighten the people so that they can be able to understand their rights. Otherwise, people had gone in a direction where they were looking at the fight between Osoro and Arati.
Yes.
And they forgot about development. So we have brought them now on board as a civil society, and now they are looking at what we call development and service, and they are wondering, even some of them were asking, pesa ya serikali sinatakana kuwa kidogo, mbona inarudi na hii ya kurudi inatoka wapi?
Yeah, sure.
Unaona, that kind of question. So they are getting enlightened, we are enlightening them, and through there, we are assisting the county government to do their work well. At the same time, we are asking our people to do oversight.
Now, does Kisii Gusii generally, have a kingpin?
Gusii does not have a kingpin at the moment.
Okay.
Because for you to be a kingpin, you don't put yourself.
Yeah.
Unawekwa na watu. Na kuwekwa as a kingpin, unawekwa by the actions that you are taking. You're not going to be put a kingpin just because you are holding a big position. Like now, the highest position we have this in the county. We have the seat of CS, and we have the seat of governor. So they cannot be spokesmen or kingpins because they have not behaved as the kings.
Sure.
Because as a kingpin, there are parameters that you go through until kila mtu anasema huyu kweli ndio msimamishi wetu. So for those who want to be kingpins, kindly chipange.
Okay.
In fact, even me, people should also call me a spokesperson because I really speak for the people. I really speak for Mwananchi. I am a voice of Mwananchi who is not able to bring his voice into the table for those leaders to listen. So for that reason, I want to say those who want to be kingpins, behave like kingpins, work as kings, and unite the people. The test here is how to unite the people. How do you unite people when you don't know how to speak to them? When you are not working for them in the right direction. So for you to be a kingpin, build that space.
People have been caught in on social media platforms, speaking of Matiang'i coming back to politics to vie for presidency. Do you also support the opinion?
In this country, it is free for anybody to vie for any seat if you are qualified. So if Matiang'i wants to come back and vie for presidency, so be it. Let him come and ask for votes from the people. People will decide whether to give him votes or not. So that one it is beyond my mandate. Because I can't, hata mimi nikitaka kutafuta kitu chochote sinaweza tafuta tu. So kwa social media, it is not us who are bringing somebody akuje kutafuta kiti. Yeye mwenyewe lazima na yeye afikirie kiti anataka kutafuta ni gani, because he has never been a politician as we know him, as a person who has been an administrator, a manager.
Actually, most of the leaders, including the senator here, some leaders from Nyamira, stood up in some forum and they were saying, we want Matiang'i. That's why I was asking if as a leader as well, you hold that position.
I don't hold the position,
okay.
But what I should say, ukiona mtu anakuja na hiyo, there is nothing that is a coincidence. These are things they speak in the boardrooms, and then they come to say to hear people's opinions. So I don't want to be entangled in what they spoke about in the boardroom.
When he was a chief cabinet secretary, let me call him a chief cabinet secretary during his time.
Yes.
Where do you think he failed? He could not unite the Gusii community.
Matiang'i behaved the same way as those who are kingpins today are behaving.
Okay.
Hii kazi ya kuchiweka kama kuwekwa na watu wachache. He failed to unite the Kisii people. He could have done it. He had all the opportunity to unite the people. And what they forget, kuna wale watu wadogo pia. Ukitaka kuweka mtu kingpin, lazima pia ujulishe huyu mtu mdogo. Usiende ukaweke ukiacha mtu mdogo hapa chini. Ukimwacha hapa chini atasema hiyo ni biashara yenu. And at the end of the day itashika. Hiyo ndio sasa shida yenyewe. Yeye alikuwa na value, alikuwa na deal na wale top cream peke yake kutoka Kisii. He forgot the people below. So and that is why hata hii yenye walikuwa wanafanya hapa Nyaribari. Walikuja Nyaribari ati wanataka kuweka, there was CS Machogu, there was Donya, there was the MP for Nyaribari Chache, there was our Dichi. Our walisimama ati wanataka Obomo Nyaribari, at the unity of Obomo Nyaribari. It couldn't work because it does not start from the top. It must start from the bottom.
Okay.
So if somebody wants to be a spokesperson or a kingpin or whatever you call them, what are you to attract the heart of the bottom person?
Now, Mheshimiwa, you have lost some elections. As a leader, how did this affect you? Okay, when you want something and you lose it, if you know very well, when we start looking for elections, number one, you are prepared for two things: to win or to fail. What you prepare for is failure. Okay.
For winning, it's obvious what will happen. So every time we prepare that if I fail, this is what I'll do to make me bounce back. And we know that in these elections, from the experiences we have, it's not many people who just stand, seek for elections and win. Many people, they try so many times before they come to win. Okay. So we are prepared for that. So even if I've been failing, I know that one day my star will stand, and I know it's coming in 2027, and I'll be somebody elected in this county. All
the best, madam.
Yeah.
Now, so what should we expect in 2027 from you? Which seat are you going to go for?
Before I say which seat I'm going to look for, this time I don't want to make a mistake.
Okay.
I want to make sure that I go to the heart of the people.
Okay.
What I want to do, what I'm doing now, before I declare which seat I'm going to look for, is to talk to my people.
Okay.
I want to start with the people of Nyaribari, where I come from. And then from there talk to other people. And they are the ones who will guide me on which seat to look for. A seat where they will actually give me. On the other hand, there's a seat that I'm not prepared to look for. And that is the seat of women rep. Okay. Because that is a very, very difficult seat to get.
Okay.
That is a seat where people don't vote for you. People vote for a team. They don't vote for a person. They vote for a team. The team where you are. They don't care who you are. They only vote for the team where you are. And that is why after elections, they start complaining. So that is the seat that I'm not looking for. But any other seat, I look for it, depending on what people say, and I'll start from the people from Nyaribari before I go to the rest of the people within Kisii County, because charity starts at home.
Okay. Now, madam, you're coming to an end of our conversation. Kindly speak to the people of Kisii County and tell them what you're up to.
People of Kisii County, I want to tell you to be alert and check on what your money is doing. and so that next time you can be prepared and on how to elect leaders. Don't look at a leader on how much money is giving you or goodies that is giving you. Look at the money is going to manage. If you are choosing a governor, angalia your billions anaenda kumanage kwa kila mwaka. If you are looking at an MP, look at the billions or the millions is going to manage. Because if we start from there, we will be able to choose the best leaders. Because what we need is value for all before we go to the things we call individual. On the other hand, I'm urging the women of this county, stand in big numbers and look for these seats. Let the youths also stand. I want to congratulate the youths. They are so ready and they are really standing in big numbers and continue standing so that next time leaders are elected across so that we can have leaders who represent all the groups. And as for me, I am still seeking for a seat 2027. Kindly, I've been patient enough. Many women are never so patient. They try once, twice, third time they leave. I have tried many times and I am still on because I believe that when you fail, that's when you come out smarter next time. So I believe 2027, we are coming out smarter and we are asking our people to look at us and understand what they need in leadership and choose the best leaders, and I believe I'll be one of them. For those who are in leadership, we've given you all the time to do your best and give us your scorecard when it comes to 2027.
Thank you so much, Madam, for your time. We are really delighted to host you in our conversation. And first of all, one of the things that amazed us most is your humility to accept our request to have a conversation with us. Thank you so much and God bless you for that. And on your endeavors, we want to wish you all the best and we hope that God will see you through this time around. Thank you so much. See you next time.
Thank you, Abel.